This is Tracy Hart with KHZTV.com, and I'm so excited to be speaking with Laura Neuman, who is the County Executive for Arundel County. Thank you so much for talking with me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm pleased to be here.
Absolutely. So let's talk about that. Coming up on Saturday, it'll be your 1-year mark from the time you started as the County Executive. How has it been for your first year?
Oh my goodness, it's been a great year. It's been certainly very busy, but we've got a lot of work done and very pleased with the progress so far. Unfortunately, we couldn't get everything done in a half a term, so we want to make sure that we can move this forward, and that's why I'll be running again in the upcoming election and the primaries in June.
So what is it about Anne Arundel County that makes you want to be a part of it?
Well, it's my home. I've chosen to raise my family here. I'm originally from Baltimore City, but I've lived here over 22 years, and it's where I've chosen to raise my family, and it's my home community, so I really wanted to make a difference in my community.
You just came out with a Commission on Excellence report that came up with some really interesting findings.
Well, the Commission on Excellence has been a wonderful experience. The goal was to get citizens involved, and we had 45 volunteers come forward and evaluate every department in county government. And they made recommendations in every department, over 100 recommendations in total. In each department, we took half a dozen of their recommendations and published a report to make sure that there's transparency in the process. The goal was really to have a set of best practices on how we can improve serving the citizens of the county. And we've already started to implement some of those changes.
We have to talk about the 911 response time. You cut it in half.
We did. It's very surprising to see that we had slow response times in Anne Arundel County compared to the national average, and we needed to do something about that. The challenge, though, is that, we can't just make a decision overnight to make that kind of investment. We have to live within our means. I live within my means, and the county needs to live within its means, but we also had to solve the problem. We put together some folks who have been in the fire department for a long time, had a lot of great experience, with some younger folks who really understood software programming, because what we realized is this was a problem where we had a process on the computer system. You had to answer 16 questions on the first page before you could advance to the second page when someone called with an emergency. And these guys got together and came up with a way to override the system so that we could automatically advance to the second page, and we cut our response time in half.
Well, and I think you found that there was some other issues from a computer standpoint as well, with permitting processes, upgrading from DOS. There were several different issues throughout the county.
Well, our county is, a lot of it is run on a DOS-based operating system from the 1980s, and that's true in several departments, including our 911 call center. And it really means that we're very inefficient and ineffective. We had an email system from the 1980s, and we were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to maintain that system. Just by upgrading it, we were able to save those costs, and, the efficiency that came as a result of that, I'm not sure we could quantify. So that was true throughout county government, and everyone that we put in place in every department is really committed to best practices and really is the most qualified person for each position. And they're about doing the best possible work for the community, and they're making recommendations on how we can upgrade the systems and the processes to better serve the county.
For the future, what is it that you see are some challenges that still need to be addressed in Anne Arundel County that you're hoping to work towards fixing in the upcoming years?
Well, there's still a lot of work to be done, which is really the reason that I'm running. I wasn't looking for a job. I was looking for, to make a difference in my community. And we've just gotten started. We certainly accomplished a lot in the last year, but there's a lot more that we want to get done. And, it'll be difficult to walk away from all the progress. We want to put the county in a good place during my administration, and we want to be thoughtful about how we spend the resources available to us and really bring the county into this century. There are certainly many opportunities to do that, and those projects, some of them are longer term. We need to save for upgrading our emergency management systems, and we want to be prepared for the future so that we can handle anything that comes our way.
We're sitting down just a couple days ago with individuals throughout the community to find out what were the problems that they were seeing and kind of getting a poll as to what needs to be addressed.
Well, I love doing town halls. I look for opportunities to be out in the community talking about the work that we're doing, as well as answering questions that folks have about the work in the county. So I believe in complete transparency in government, and it's a way of making government accessible. We have an open door policy, all are welcome, and we have open houses at our offices, and we go out into the community and host town halls. A lot of folks are asking about education and school construction. There's a real interest in recreation in the community. And it's about quality of life, really, at the end of the day. And we have to do that in a very thoughtful and fiscally conservative way.
Absolutely. So for people out there who want to get more information about your campaign or, different projects that you're working on, how would they go about getting that information?
Well, we have a website up, www.arundel.org. www.lauraneuman.com, and the website has a lot of information about the campaign and how to get involved, and why it's so important to me to continue to do this work. And I just want to say the community has been overwhelmingly supportive, which has made it an easy decision to run.
Well, and I have to say, you've also embraced social media in general. Just the other day, you were having a Twitter chat with the community.
Don't get the impression that I'm overly savvy on social media. It is the way we communicate today, though, so we certainly want to make sure that we explored every avenue for being available to the public and putting information out there. So I had to learn how to use Twitter, and I found it a very effective way of disseminating information. We also have a Facebook page. I have one for my campaign, but we also have a county one, and it's a great way of staying connected with the community. I think they've enjoyed having that kind of access. I had a comment today, actually, on our tour across the county that someone said to me, it's so nice to have information. It was always so difficult to get questions answered, and we found county government to be much more accessible now.
That speaks a lot. Again, going back to transparency and just letting the community know what's going on. 99% of the time, that's just what they want to know. They just want to know that things are happening, progressing, things are going to a good direction, and just being transparent, that helps
That
them.
is true. If you answer folks' questions and you give them information, there are certainly places where we can improve what we're doing, but many times they need access to information, and for some reason that's just not been available in the past, and we want to make sure that it's available in the future. All of us, everyone on my team, is dedicated to being open and accessible and completely transparent, making sure that we are really focused on serving the community.
Well, thank you so much for talking with me here. We're really excited to see what next couple of years are going to bring here in Anne Arundel County.
Well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure, and have a great day.
Again, I've been talking with Laura Neuman, who is the county executive for Anne Arundel County. I'm Tracy Hart with KHDTV.com.